What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the 2024 BMW X5 M60i. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this new X5 for today's video. Take a look at their website linked down below. Now the one we're looking at today is finished off in Marina Bay Blue Metallic. MSRP is about $102,000, so let's get right into it. Underneath the hood of the 2024 BMW X5 M60i, you're going to find a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged 8-cylinder. This V8 is also paired to a mild hybrid system which features a 12 horsepower motor along with 147 pound-feet of torque. Overall, the M60i is pumping out 523 horsepower with 553 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all four wheels through the xDrive all-wheel drive system. And then with a curb weight around 5,300 pounds, it can still do 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, even towing up to 7,200 pounds. And then all running on a 21.9 gallon fuel tank, you can expect 17 miles per gallon in the city with 22 out on the highway. The overall length is 194.3 inches with wheelbase at 117.1, width is 79.9, and height is 69.5 inches. And then for some off-road capabilities, approach angle is 24 degrees with ground clearance at 8.7 inches, breakover angle is 19 degrees, and then departure angle is 22 degrees. And then moving on to the exterior styling, this particular spec does have the M Sport package along with the executive package, and it looks fantastic with that blacked out accents all around with that blue color. We do get BMW's LED headlights with LED daytime running lights and a very nice blacked out housing. That fades its way towards a satin black grille surround featuring gloss black along the mesh. You get that classic kidney shaped grills. You can even see the strut bars back behind it. We've got a forward facing camera, the M badge on the far right side. And then underneath the grille, you're going to see more gloss black trim surrounding a safety sensor right in the center. You also have another large opening in the center to provide maximum cooling. There's more gloss black trim, and then a nice air inlet on the farthest side to allow air to pass through these front tires. We get a lot of really nice aggressive sharp lines throughout the front bumper, all of your parking sensors of course. I think it really comes together nicely. Fading our way towards the hood, we get the BMW badge and then really sharp body lines blending towards that windshield. And overall, the front end is unmistakable. It is super bold and aggressive. I love the overall design. Taking a look at the side profile, we get one of the parking sensors on the side, body color trim around this front fender, along with a trim piece behind it. And then we get a really nice set of M wheels. These are 22-inch diameter, finished off in a two-tone color. Then we have these massive red brake calipers. Just a really cool combination. You get a nice bulge in the front fender just to add some width to it. Then we get gloss black for the mirror caps with an integrated turn signal as well as a side view camera, and all gloss black trim surrounding the windows. Up on top you're going to see that panoramic sunroof along with gloss black roof rails, and I love that overall side profile. We get body colored door handles, really sharp body line cutting through the side, and I love how it raises up towards the rear fenders. We get some sharp body lines in the lower portion of the doors, along with a nice looking side skirt. And then we even get an integrated spoiler up on top with your third brake light and gloss black trim surrounding the window. We get a nice set of LED taillights. They do protrude outwards a little bit, giving it a three-dimensional look. Get that M60i badge, and then really nice contours throughout the bumper. We get a dual exhaust with a dark color finish for the tips, and a nice gray trim piece with a diffuser down below finished in body color. And then I like the really sharp body lines all throughout the center. Overall, the X5 for 2024 comes together nicely, and especially in the M60, it's a really aggressive looking SUV. And then moving to the key fob, you can see your lock button right in the center for BMW. We have remote start, the M colors, as well as unlock and the release for the tailgate. Keeping it locked, all I have to do is grab the door handle or just get close to the X5 and it's going to automatically unlock. Now this interior spec is the Tartofu extended merino leather, very nice dark brown color, and you're going to see a lot of carbon fiber all throughout. Taking a look at the door panel, we get the smooth black leather up on top and then the dark brown color all throughout it. Got some padding for your armrest, a good grab handle, all of your window controls, mirror controls, and then the release for the liftgate. We have lock and unlock, our release handle and memory seating. Then you can see all sorts of storage down below. We do have more carbon fiber, and then an illuminated M60 badge on the door sill, and then all of your power controls on the side of the seat. I love how we have a leg rest that'll pop up as well, and all sorts of different controls. Beautiful interior with the perforated leather, a little bit of a diamond pattern. Really nice, making our way all the way up towards these headrests. And then spinning around, we get a black leather steering wheel with nice leather on the airbag cover and the M color stitching. And then now inside the M60i, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. And then taking a look at the center gauge cluster now, you can see how we have the speedometer on the left side, your gear and tach over on the right, a few things of information in the center, and then you can also configure it. If I tap this icon right here, it's gonna come up with the content. You can scroll up and down and get all sorts of different information that are gonna come up in the center. We have your music, you have different sport displays for the G meter, you have that nav system, of course turn-by-turn directions, and then more information for trip, and then of course a speedometer. We also have the layout you're able to configure, change it up a little bit, and then our heads-up display, we can configure what you'd like to see. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. We can have navigation, trip information, and a few other things like that. Now if we go ahead and take a look in the center right now, we have all of our drive modes as well as the sport mode. So if I tap Eco Pro, you're gonna get a more conservative layout. You're also gonna see it on that center screen. Going into the comfort mode and then into sport mode, it will change it up quite a bit. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we have cruise control settings on the left side, then a few more audio controls on the right side, and you do get a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. And then the right stalk, you're gonna see all your controls for the windshield wipers as well as the rear wiper, and then your turn signal stalk on the left with automatic high beams. And if I toggle this BC icon, you can see a few things that are gonna come up throughout the screen. And then on the left side, we have the automatic headlights, just a few controls, and this nice silver trim with a cool toggle for the air vent, more of the carbon fiber along with black leather all throughout the dashboard. Really gives it a premium design. I love the stitching, and then a lot of carbon fiber and a really cool stripe design that'll all light up at night with your M badge. And then moving towards the center, we have all sorts of information in here. The climate menu is going to be fixed down below here for temperature and the menu itself, and you can scroll left and right and see information for the heated and ventilated seating, all your fan speeds, the different zones. And then if I just toggle our home icon, we have the navigation screen, Sirius XM, telephones, assistants, and then a few more settings that are going to come up as you scroll left and right. We also have this toggle right here for all of your different apps. This does feature Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We have entertainment apps, different vehicle apps as well. And then going back here, we have your audio for a full screen setup, phone integration as well, and then a full screen for our navigation system. Now for 2024, we have this new shifter design, nice and low profile. Pushing it into reverse, we get a rear view backup camera along with a top-down view. You can just tap some of these icons over here, get a corner view, and I love how it actually uses the same color that your vehicle is. So you get your front view as well, a few more items. If we tap the more icon, you can do the car wash view to get a good top-down. We also have the 3D camera, which is a really cool touch. And once again, it'll be your exact spec. So it's a really nice touch just to make this even more fancy. Then from there, we can just tap the P button and go back into park. Underneath the screen, you're gonna get this really cool texture design. Kind of looks like a diamond all on it, just really neat. And then the air vents are sunken into these slots with more carbon fiber. We do get some radio controls down below that with the front and rear defrost, and then a lot of carbon fiber throughout the center, along with that dark brown leather. So pushing this up, we get our wireless phone charging pad, as well as some cup holders and plugs. And we can just pull this back down. And then down below all of that, we have our traction control, the parking sensors, all those drive mode select, downhill assist and brake hold. And then on this far right side, this is actually a shortcut for the main screen. So we have toggles that you can touch, you can bump it over, cycle through all sorts of different information. So I like how you don't always have to use the actual touchscreen. You can just use this, and it kind of makes it a little bit more simple. And then this one does have the very cool like crystal design for the shifter along with that rotary dial. Then we get more of this brown color for your armrest. And opening this up, we have quite a lot of storage space. Moving to the glove box now, pretty good amount of space in here as you would expect. And then I love the headliner. This gets a black Alcantara headliner, of course with that full panoramic sunroof. We have our controls for the roof along with your LED dome lights, a nice thin mirror, and just a really cool design for all this alcantara throughout it. Comes down the A-pillars, and of course we have a Harman Kardon audio system. And then moving on to the rear seat space, just grab the door handle and open it up. Door panel's finished off just like we saw up front with the two-tone black and brown. We even have the carbon fiber here, and then a manual sunshade. The seats have a nice smooth leather design, no perforations back here. You still do get some of that diamond pattern, and this can seat 3 people. There's headrests that are going to fold up and down for better driver visibility, and you can pull this handle and fold these nice and flat and they'll lock into place. Lifting them back up, the center seat also has an armrest that you can pull down. Then pressing this, we can open it up for a little bit of storage, and then up in front we have some cup holders that'll pop out as well. If I go ahead and close that and grab this little strap, we can now independently fold down the center. Gives you more cargo area into the back, which is a really cool thing to see. There is some storage on the back side of these seats, along with a slot where you can have plugs, along with a thing for a tablet. Then you can see your climate control vents, their own climate control screen and settings. You have heated seats, fan speed and zones, and then a few more plugs down below. So sitting in the back seat now of the X5, this is a pretty comfortable SUV. Honestly, a really good sized vehicle. At 5'11" sitting here, I have plenty of headroom, maybe like 3-4 inches. And even with the driver's seat at my height, got a few inches of knee room. Armrest is in a great place, same with the center. The seats don't recline at all. However, they're honestly at a really good recline to where it's pretty comfortable back here. Have no issues as a full-grown adult. We do have your dome lights up on top, as well as a grab handle and hooks, more of that alcantara. And then of course with the sunroof open, you get endless amounts of light in the back seat. And then moving to the cargo area, you have the button on the back that you're able to press on the key fob. That's gonna go ahead and pop open. And I love how the X5 has a split tailgate design. As you're gonna notice, we have another button we can press here, and this will automatically open up, kind of like a truck. So a really cool way to load and unload the rear end. Cargo space is very large, nice and squared off. Definitely have a ton of space in here. If I pull this up, it even has a gas strut, a nice size spare tire with all of your tools. And then we have a 12-volt on the right side, a nice privacy cover as well to go ahead and hide some items. And then if you go ahead and manually fold the seats down and then remove that privacy cover, you can see just how much more storage space you're gonna have. A cool thing, if you just go ahead and tap this button, everything together is gonna go ahead and close, which is super convenient. And then with everything folded down, you can see just how much more cargo area you're gonna get in the X5, which certainly makes this a very practical, performance-focused SUV. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the X5 M60i. This so far is a really comfortable, normal SUV. And if I go into Eco Pro mode, car's relaxed, great windshield with a lot of view. You can really easily see what's going on in front of you. Huge windows, good mirrors, and really good visibility over your left and right shoulder. Honestly, no issues. This is just a comfortable car. Love all the light let in from the panoramic roof. And then the creature comforts. These seats are so padded. Of course, with all the controls, the leg rest, I mean, I just fit so nicely in the car. Armrests are in a great place too, to where I can just drive and just be so relaxed. I like just how nice it is. Now from here, if I go into sport mode, toggle us into manual mode, and then you can get a cool screen up on the center there. So if I go hit the home icon into my BMW, we get all the horsepower, torque, your turbo boost gauge, and then a temperature gauge. And then of course now we're in manual mode. This thing is pretty peppy. Of course we have that hybrid system, so slow speed, that electric motor is gonna help us get out of the hole. But then you got some good top end. Of course, this one's kind of limited, being still broken in, or not broken in yet. But this car is definitely peppy. And you can hear just a little bit of gurgles and pops on the overrun of the engine. So it sounds pretty good for being stock and obviously still being run in. Hopefully you can hear that a little bit. It's very, very faint. But the response, man, this thing's got some power. I love how, I mean, obviously if we could really rip on it, you know these things are pretty darn peppy. But it's a fun SUV. I like how it's sporty and comfortable to be in, but then you have the power to actually be in a performance-focused SUV. You know, you can still get the M, the Truon X5 M, which is a true beast, but this is just that sweet spot to where it can still tone down enough and just be your normal, decently economical family SUV, but then you can play with it, rip on it and everything. In the eco mode right now, it's so comfortable. You don't hear any of the road elements. I mean, we are just relaxed. It's so quiet in here. The suspension is insanely soft. But then when I go into sport mode, I mean, you can tell steering is tighter. The turning radius, we'll do a quick U-turn, is really, really good. I don't know if it has rear wheel steering, but it turns on a dime. And in sport mode, you can tell the suspension is stiffer, the car is hunkered down. I mean, it's just a really good blend. I think the X5 is one of the absolute best SUVs on the market. Amazing spectrum, going from maybe 60 grand up to well over 100 grand. But honestly, this is one of the best. And the M60i now, I think you just get such a good blend. So, if we do just a quick UE, just kind of flip it around. I don't know if it comes off on camera, but turning circle is so incredible. Like, this is not a lot of space and I am doing a donut. Like, how is this possible? This thing is so maneuverable, just a really solid choice. So turning around to my perspective, honest thoughts with the X5 M60. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the X5 in general. I think it's a really good sweet spot of a true performance premium luxury SUV. You just get kind of everything. 102 grand, obviously not the cheapest thing, but for what you get, I think it's pretty well rounded. And I like the X5 in general just because it truly is still an SUV. It's a true utility vehicle. It can tow a lot. You can put the family in it. You can put a lot of stuff in it. You can literally use it for the work stuff, you know, around your house, trailing stuff. You can use this like a utility vehicle. I like that aspect a lot. But then when you're in eco mode, just cruising, it is a comfortable, luxurious place to be. It's a really nice car to be in. And of course, being this trim level, kind of that first spot into the performance, you know, the M60 is a cool way to go because you have some power to it. Can only go so much with it locked out for now, but I mean, you know, these things are pretty quick. I like the screen too. Now, a lot of people are kind of on the fence with this new BMW screen. Not everybody's the biggest fan of it. Honestly, it's grown on me a little bit. It does take some getting used to, I'm not gonna lie. It's not the easiest thing when you first look at it. However, once you get used to it, it's actually pretty simple, and I think they did configure it to where it looks really good. Now, big competitor to the X5 is the Mercedes GLE. Now, we had one of them for a week. It was a trim below this, so it'd be closer to a 40i X5, and that was really nice. If you're cross-shopping an X5 or a GLE, the GLE is a little softer, a little bit more luxurious feeling, but the X5 is a little bit more sporty. I think they're both really good. I think highly of both cars. But this one, definitely, if you're looking for the extra sport factor, the X5 in general is going to give you more of that sporty feeling. And then the 60i, if you don't want to go too crazy and get the X5 M competition, you know, this is kind of that sweet spot. Only drawbacks, I would say, rear seats don't recline. They used to a couple years ago. And then you have to manually fold them down, and you can't do anything from the back. So that's the only real downfall. I wish, you know, you could still fold them down from the cargo area. Transmission snappy, the power's good. Man, this is an SUV to put on the list. If you really just want a fun performance luxury SUV and you want to stick around that 100 grand mark, you don't want to go too crazy. Obviously in the spectrum, you can go very crazy in price if you want. You know, this is something to get. Even taking sharp turns, it handles so well. I'm not sure again if it's got rear wheel steering. It feels like it does, but it is so precise in the steering. It is a fun all-around SUV. I don't think I have many complaints. It's definitely something to put on the list. Something I would buy. Honestly, I really like it. I think that is then it for the 2024 BMW. Suspension's pretty solid. X5 M60i, beautiful spec. This is exactly the spec that I would get. It is just so nice. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. Heard a little bit of pops on that exhaust. And then a big shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this X5 for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. And I'll see you all in the next video.